3 tips do you have for future Islanders?
Always communicate with your professors when you're going to be gone. 2, don't overlook the syllabus because when you ask a professor, they're always just going to say, it's in the syllabus. Number 3, don't eat at the UC every day because we all know you don't want to gain freshman 15. And this is my evidence. This is me working at the track meet. This is me supposedly running at the track meet, but I'm just sitting in the stands. And this is me working at the aquarium.
In what way did you contribute to the Islander community this semester?
I participate on the TMUCC track team, and I volunteer for the track meets that are here at the school, which puts in a lot of my time.
How does this demonstrate your social and personal responsibility to the larger community?
I think having to be on a certain schedule and being there on time is definitely a responsibility, and just being an overall student athlete is a lot of responsibility.
Alright, so my name is Keegan Oliveira. I'm a freshman. This is my 2nd semester at TMUCC, and I'm a finance major. So I'm going to be discussing the first SLO. It reads Reflect and Integrate Learning from Learning Community Courses, including development of critical thinking skills, social and our personal responsibility. So critical thinking wise, I think I improved a lot just in terms of how my study habits were and keeping up with all the quizzes that we had in both comm and history. So yeah, like study habits, I would write all of the ID terms that we needed to know for our history exams. So like the Dawes Act, for example, Pullman Strike, I don't know if y'all can see that, and the Manhattan Project, for example. I would just write all the ID terms, and there was usually about anywhere between like 15 to like 18 terms, so there was a lot. So I had to do it, plenty of days before, it couldn't just be like a last-ditch effort the night before. And I'd also write out all the essay outlines. So this one about like the South, Northwest, and the Great Plains, I think that was from the first essay. So yeah, I would just prepare a lot for these exams, and that's not something I really think I did last semester, and I think that improved with my test scores. So yeah, my first exam got a 90, and second exam an 88, where I think it was a low C was the class average for both of those. So yeah, I think my study habits that helped me get those grades. I learned that those ID terms, I get the help from the lectures and a seminar. We would go over some ID terms and go over the essay outline, so those both helped me in that aspect. And socially and personally, I think I improved a lot through just communications, like the presentations, because during the beginning of comm, I would read like pretty much right off the screen or a note card, and now I can explain my points without with giving eye contact and explaining my points without without looking down or at the screen or anything like that. So I think I improved in that aspect a lot. Alright, so some tips for our incoming freshmen next year. First tip would be, I would say join an intramural sport. That's what I did. I joined indoor and outdoor intramural soccer, and I think that helped me a lot, just with staying active and meeting new people. I think that's a lot, a lot of worries people have when they come into college, making friends and things like that. So yeah, I would join an intramural sport because that's what it did for me. It helped me make friends and also helped me stay active. Second, I would say if you're getting to class late or have an afternoon class, I would think about, where you want to park and where you're going to park, and if you should leave early, because parking fills up pretty quick at TMUCC. So yeah, I would plan ahead so you're not more late to class than you might have already been or late at all. And also I would say my third tip would be to just stay organized. I kind of mentioned before, I had a lot of quizzes and discussion forums in my learning community and even outside learning community, so I think it's important to keep up with all that and plan ahead and be proactive about it. Do it ahead of time, don't do it all last minute, because then you're going to be really unorganized and you might end up turning things in late or not getting them in at all. So yeah, I would just be proactive with all your stuff that you have, and balancing the online and in-class aspect of within the learning community in your other classes. So yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Laurel. I am a major in nursing and a minor in computer science. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, and I moved to Corpus Christi. To start off, I'm going to talk about the third SLL, which is discover relevance of learning in a learning community through real-world application. And I think that I can relate that because it will motivate you more to work harder once you notice the value of what you're learning through all your courses. Like, for example, your first year seminar, you're required to take that your first freshman year, which that class helps you motivate you to get out, go to school events, and stay active with the campus. And honestly, the big event was one that a lot of people went to. There's also the farmers market, which I went to. I bought a couple products, fresh products from them. And yeah, it helps you motivate, learn what the real world is. 3 tips I would like to share with you guys is always back up your files. Dropbox is one of the biggest things that you should start using. It's really helpful even throughout your college life or your real world life. Always keep that handy. Get to know your professors better. They will help you a lot. They will adjust things to you. If you're absent, they will let you know what work you miss. And the third one is take smart notes. Don't take stupid notes. Don't take all the notes that you see on the slide. Write down important things. And that's all I gotta say.
Alright, hi, my name is Marissa Brandon. I'm now going to be a sophomore at TAMUCC. I'm going to talk to you about how some of your classes you're taking now or have taken in the past are really going to help you out in the future. For instance, I'm in personal finance right now, and I never realized how important it was to have a credit score. My whole life I've been told credit cards are so bad and that you shouldn't get one because you'll get in debt and then you'll be paying it off the rest of your life. But really, you need a credit score to get almost anything. Like if you want to sign on your house, if you want to sign on an apartment, or even get a card that you want to sign for yourself, you have to have a credit score. Another thing is having health insurance. There's a lot of different types of health insurance and a lot of different coverages. And there's also a thing called disability insurance, which a lot of people don't have. But that's like if in the case you got in an accident and you couldn't walk for the rest of your life, or you couldn't go back to your job that you were using to support your family. They would have you paid off for the rest of your life so you were taken care of. Another thing is I'm in history this semester as well, and history has never been one of my favorite, but I really like my professor this semester, and I really like how engaged he is and how excited he is about teaching. And learning about the things that have happened in the past are really going to help us out in the future because, as you know, history repeats itself. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of my grades for my tests, and I did study very hard for these. This is going to be the second one I took, where you can see I got an 86. And the first one I took, I actually got an 87. And I know that's not much of a difference, but it really shows that learning about these topics and actually getting involved and understanding what they're about is going to help you out with your grades. And honestly, these are things I'm probably going to remember the rest of my life. So now I'm going to give you guys just a few tips that I've personally learned at TAMUCC. The first one is don't let your family go out and buy you a bunch of gift cards for Subway for your birthday because, as I found out, they do not take gift cards on campus for Subway. So I have a whole bunch of those now and nothing to do with them. Second one is if you live off campus and you plan on wanting to go home for lunch and cook a meal instead of having to buy lunch every single day, try to schedule at least a 2-hour break between your classes because otherwise you won't have time to drive home, drive back, find parking, and walk to your class. It takes about 30 minutes to be able to park and get to your class alone. And the third one is when you're driving around on campus, there's always going to be a lot of college students walking around, and you need to be extra careful because they won't always look to see if a car is coming before they cross the road because they just assume that you're going to stop. So definitely be careful about that. And another thing I want to mention is I was in the Humans vs. Zombies activity, and that was a lot of fun. I don't know if you know what it is, but I'm sure you'll find out. And of course, I did get turned into a zombie because I did not run on campus. But it was a lot of fun, and I believe that's everything I have to share with you guys, and I wish you luck on your first semester at TAMUCC.
Today I'm going to talk to you guys about the second SLO, which is interact with faculty and peers about substantive matters through daily activities and discussions. So in what way did I contribute to the Islander community this semester, and what organizations and activities did I participate in, and how does demonstrate your social and personal responsibility to a larger community? I participated in intramural soccer as well as volunteer at the Gulf Coast Animal Shelter. This demonstrated my social and personal responsibility because of the task given to me by the animal shelter, as well as being on time to my games and participating and attending to each one. How have you interacted with your triad professors, especially your seminar professor this semester? How have you interacted with your classmates during seminar and the triad semester? So if you want to be close to your seminar teacher and all your professors in general, you need to go to your office hours. Some of your classes are going to be big and some classes are going to be small, so they'll be able to get to know you a little bit more personally. But you need to go to their office hours so they can get you to talk to you one-on-one and get to know you better. Unfortunately, I didn't do that this semester. I'll learn from my mistakes and I'll do it next semester. But I had more of an email relationship with my seminar teacher as well as with the rest of my professors. So discuss lessons you've learned, discoveries you've made, or realizations you've achieved as a student, as a learner, and as an individual during the semester. So what I've learned and what you guys are probably going to learn is that living with a roommate is really hard. You're going to have to adjust to their schedule and they're going to have to adjust to yours. You're probably not going to like some of the things that they do. They're not going to like some of the things that you do. You guys just have to have a balanced relationship, and you guys are going to figure that out, and it's really hard. I don't know where you guys are coming from or how far you guys are away from home, but being 4 hours away, since I'm from Austin, it's been a huge adjustment. I'm a very family-oriented person, and not being able to be with my family and see them every day, it's been very hard. So I've been having to adjust, and it's gotten a lot better. First semester was a lot harder. So here, depending on your professors, they may not take attendance, but unlike high school, they do. But it's your choice or not. If you go to class, you don't have your parents on your back about getting to class and turning your stuff in on time, and that's what you have to do. If you're shy like me and you don't want to participate in community, just join sports. You don't really have to talk to anyone, and you just slowly make your way through, and you make new friends in the process. But you do need to be a part of the community in some way, or else you're going to be isolated alone in your room, and you're not going to be happily personally. So how have learning community experiences benefited you this semester, or specifically have you seen benefits? I feel like I'm a lot more prepared for my second year of college. I know how to study. I've learned how not to procrastinate. I know you guys are probably going to do that your first semester and think you guys can just do it right on time, but you can't. You really need to get on top of your stuff. I learned to be more independent because in high school they took attendance, like I said. I was able to really, as a student, I was on top of my work. I was able to just really grow as a person and as an individual, so I could see the changes myself. Like I said before, it's your choice if you want to go to class or not. So 3 tips I would like to share with you guys is find a balance between studying and have a party with your friends. I know it's going to seem first semester you guys are going to want to party. I understand. We got that all over the first system. But you got to find an equal balance. Second tip would be never to procrastinate and keep up with your work. You guys are really going to realize how everything can pile up quick if you don't keep up. You need to communicate with your professors. Your professors are going to really care if you're emailing them, talking to them, and showing that you're really putting in effort to try to get a good grade in their class. As well as attend class, like I said before, it's your choice if you're going to attend, but this is your future. This isn't high school anymore. You're going to have to really put in work. If you fail, you fail. You pass, it's all on you. No one's going to be there to hold your hand. My second tip would be get involved with the campus community. I joined intramural soccer. I met a lot of new people, and I was able to stay fit as well. Just get involved with the community so you're not sitting in your room all alone. But, yeah, that's all I have to say. And this is Nikki. Bye, guys.